How's it, guys? Today we're down in Cape Town and we've come in to see the guys from LEATT, and this is the LEATT World Head Office, and they're going to take us for a little walk through their lab, and I promise you, you are going to be blown away. And what we show you here is something that you'd expect to find in some flash lab in Europe or some tech city in the States and stuff like that. We're in Cape Town. We're right under the flight plot to Cape Town International Airport, and some of the best testing, some of the most innovative stuff in the motorcycle industry and in the mountain bike industry is happening right here. And to tell us a little bit more about it, I'm going to actually have a chat to the man in charge of LEATT South Africa, Mr. Paul Medell, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about LEATT's philosophy about your riding kit. So Paul, how's it, bud? Welcome to Motor Media's channel.
Hi.
And thank you for inviting us. It's really a great privilege to be here. Just tell us a little bit about LEATT's philosophy about safety and the kit that you design, your helmets, your boots, everything.
Sure. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, so the philosophy is protection. It's all about protection. It's about keeping the rider safe. We want the rider to wear the right gear for the right application and to keep on wearing it and not feel restricted, to be comfortable, not to be hot. When it's cold, to feel warm. So that's why we've got the various models of jerseys, jackets, boots, pants, and helmets as well. It's all about making sure the rider is really comfortable and happy to wear the kit all the time, no matter the conditions that they are riding in. You know, if nobody's having kit that has been designed to keep you safe, but the mobility and the comfort is not there. You want to be able to wear it and feel like you are not really wearing protection, but should you need the protection to work, it's at the right place and protects you from hurting yourself as best as what it can.
Awesome. Paul, thank you very much. Can you walk us in and go show us this lab now?
Sure. What I mean.
Right, so here at LEATT we are chatting to Mr. Peter Kiwi, who is the biomedical engineer. And Peter, you brought us into the lab, and you just give us a little bit of explanation about all the stuff behind you. Can you just run through that for us, please?
Yeah, so just behind us here is some of our body protection samples, and these are golden samples. So we get the final sign-off samples, engineering samples from the factory. We'll sign one, keep it here as a reference sample, keep one at the factory, ensure that during the production and the lifetime of the product that the quality is maintained to the LEATT standards. And if you look at the shelves here behind us, it's just these are all helmet samples, and for the well-trained eye you'll see that there's a lot of competitive products here. Look on the shelf. Obviously we recently launched our ADV helmet range. Whenever we do products, it's important for us to look at competitive products, see what the guys are doing well, see what they're doing not so well, where we can improve, where we can ensure that whenever we bring out a product, our product is safe, number one, and it functions as it should be, and it's good looking. So
that's awesome.
So in here you'll see there's a lot of helmet samples here. At the back there's MTB samples, and if you continue around here, all of these boxes, I've asked the guy to keep it closer, so these are all actually 27 product samples that we're already working on. So
okay.
Yeah, further in advance. So these are new color samples, new products that we're bringing in, reviewing it.
Okay.
And so
that's awesome. Thank you very much for the explanation. Yeah. All right, so Peter, you go show us something else here that looks quite interesting actually.
So this is an area where we have got a few 3D printers. So obviously when we work on something like a helmet, we would do the CAD work, the designers on the computer, and then obviously before we can go into production, we need to open any tooling at the factories, cut any steel and spend the money. We need to ensure that fit, form, and function is correct of the helmet. So these 3D printers helps us to do that. So typically we would do something like this, a small version of a helmet to just get a quick idea of the aesthetics. And then this gives you a good idea. This is our adventure helmet, one of the earlier prototypes. So this allows it then to 3D print the version, put liner inside, put it on your head, see if you're happy with the overall aesthetics with the lines, make changes, 3D print another one.
Basically like a pre-production model.
Exactly, and then from there we go to our factory, open tooling, and we get the ball rolling.
Okay, fantastic.
So as you continue through here, you'll see all of these are more samples. So these are all boot samples from the last 3 years. In these boxes, here and behind you, all different products. So for instance, there's a dual access knee guard, there's body protectors, and of course you see around there's foams and things like that. So in these boxes we've got all our samples. So then when you do prototyping, we've got all the samples in hand, so we can do physical prototyping here, test certain shapes, 3D print a chest plate, add padding, that type of thing. So this you'll see around the corner is a workshop for us. Right. So we've got a welding room, we've got a spray painting room, we've got some machines. So we do a lot of the hands-on.
So you can actually basically build everything from scratch if you have to.
Correct.
But one source.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's obviously, like you say, the prototypes.
Yeah, exactly. Prototypes we could check fit, form, and function. Yeah.
Flipping amazing.
So it's not so neat in here now, but we can. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in here. Guys are destroying some stuff, but you can have a quick look. So
you do destruction testing as well?
Yeah, so I'll show you now. So this is our little workshop area. There's a machine in the welding room, spray booth, storage area.
Flipping hell.
We can continue through, and then I'll show you into the lab section where you do all the testing.
Flipping hell. Look at this place. Goodness me.
Yeah, so this is welcome to our impact lab. So this is where I did all the testing. So obviously all our products need to meet stringent safety tests to be adhered to the C standards or whatever standard we try and achieve. Come a little bit closer. I'll just give you a brief overview. At the back there is our CE test rig. We're actually testing body protection. So back protector, chest protector, elbow guards. So it's basically we do an impact drop and we measure the force.
Okay.
That's the back one. What you're seeing is a self-built rig, one of our first ones. Hanging there inverted is a Hybrid 3 50 percentile dummy that's fully instrumented neck, so we can measure upper neck, lower neck forces inside there. There's accelerometers, so we can see what's happening. And this rig is specifically built for neck brace testing. So basically, this guy will get lifted up and swung through. It impacts the block at the bottom and then pushes the head into extension. Then we add a neck brace, and you can see during the same test what's happening to the neck, how effective is the neck brace. So you'll see from the dummy, that's our data acquisition unit. You'll see all the wires going there. So basically, it's capturing all the tested information. Then we take it to a computer, analyze it behind us. Here's a high-speed camera, so we can film 1,000 frames a second.
So ultra slow motion.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously you can imagine swinging through. It happens so fast, you can't really see what's happening.
Yeah.
You need to look at the data, look at the video,
and then you can move it along with 1 frame at 1,000 frames per second and actually see the movement. That is flipping amazing.
Yeah, so the back there in the wheelchair is our Martin, our test dummy's legs. Took it off there. These are all specific bolt tricks. Again, this one, we just take off the head of the dummy and the neck, put it on here, and then this arm gets lifted, and we can impact the head, and we can look at neck forces.
It's absolutely amazing. But I also like seeing that a proudly South African product is being tested to beyond world standards.
Exactly.
It's amazing, and it's actually like makes your heart, like your chest, like stand proud. Like This is very cool, very cool.
Right, so behind you here, to show you, this is our helmet test rig. So you'll see this master here. This is actually the one item here that we bought in from Italy, because we wanted to make sure that we testing according to the same way that the test labs do it. Where we set it.
Oh, right, yes, okay, yes, yeah.
We asked them to increase the drop height, so this allows us to drop at even a higher drop speed than they actually certify for.
Oh, right, okay. All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you actually test to a higher standard than the world norm?
Yes, exactly. So just to give you an idea, this is the head, the impact head. This is magnesium head form. Inside there's 9 accelerometers. You won't be able to see inside, but basically the 9 accelerometers allows us to measure linear acceleration but also rotational acceleration.
Yes.
So this head is typically is about 4.8 kilos. It's normally about the weight of a human head. This is a 58 centimeter head. And then basically this whole unit, and I'll do a quick test for you after this whole unit gets lifted up to a certain height, and then the helmet on the head form gets dropped. There's different impactors. So typically this is a flat impact. That's our curbstone impact at the bottom. And then of course our 45. So 45 is sandpaper that puts the head into a spin. We can look at
right, okay. Look at rotational forces on the neck and etc. That's amazing.
Yeah, so this allows us to test for moto, for ECD 2006.
All right,
and also the bicycle standards. So basically
that's absolutely fantastic.
And again, all the data is always recorded. You can look at a computer and look at what's happening.
And then I'm assuming you move your cameras from there to here when you do this kind of testing and etc. to get this ultra slow motion, etc. like that. All right.
But cool. So I can do a quick test for you.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Right, so then typically after our test, you can see immediately we can see the acceleration values. Typically, this is around that impact's around 120 Gs. The pass fail is around 300 Gs. Right? And we can also look at the angular acceleration. The angular acceleration here was about 4,000 radians per second squared. Again, the pass fail is around 10,000. So, to give you an idea, we're more than half the pass fail limit.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant.
And maybe just, that is a helmet that's already been tested before as well.
How many times has that helmet been tested already? I've seen a lot of marks on it.
I would say probably about 10. It's taken about 10 impacts at least.
10 impacts and it's still passing at that rate.
Still passing, yeah.
Look, that's amazing.
Out of interest, this is a thing that we use. Got some lasers here. You can see on the I put my hand there, there's lasers. So when we do any testing, this helps us to set up the helmet to ensure that the impact points are the same. So we put a helmet on, it helps us to mark the impact points.
Okay, so it's always in exactly the same spot. There's no variation.
Exactly.
All right. Perfect. That's fantastic.
Then behind us here, 2 things that we built. This is a test rig that we built.
Okay, so these are things that you designed and tested and built yourselves.
Everything here that's yellow is something that we designed ourselves.
Flip, that's amazing.
Yeah. So basically this again is a knee brace tester, so I can quickly switch it on. That should work. So basically opening and closing the knee and giving a twisting action. And this way you can do 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 cycles on the hinges to ensure that we've got good function over the longevity.
So it's not only just opening and closing, but it's actually twisting it left and right as well.
Yeah.
Let's just get that in there. Look at that.
Yeah, and you can up the force as well. That was a fairly mild one. We can
So you can really put it.
we can
Yeah.
get it going. Yeah.
No, like it.
Yeah.
And then behind you is
Behind us is again. This is not connected now, but basically it's again testing something that we wanted to test as a boot flexing. Like when you you standing.
how long before the sole gives out?
Sole and the top sort of
Yeah, okay.
surface of the boot. Again, it's a bending function. We set the amount of samples, and this way we can do in a week's time 100 or 500,000 cycles. It's a lot quicker than going out for a few months and riding with it. So
100%. So then this way you also have a set standard where you get the same test done over and over and over again. There's no variation. So you set it to a standard, and you know if it passes that standard, no rider's ever going to be able to get to that standard.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's amazing. You know, it's mind blowing actually. Thank you for showing us this far. What are you going to show us next?
Yeah, so basically, I think I've shown you most of it, just a few things. This is our chamber. So when we do helmet testing, which I didn't mention before, so we do testing at ambient temperature, so around 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Also do plus 50, minus 20, and wet testing. So these are all our condition chambers. This is our hot chamber. We take it up to 50 degrees. This is also a UV chamber, so it's got UV lights inside. So
Okay.
the aging of products, we can put it in there, get a year's worth of aging.
So under the African sun, what it's going to look like, but you can do that in a day, basically. What would take us a year to find out.
Exactly.
So you take that into consideration, how long your paint is going to last, how long your helmet's going to look good if you don't fall on your head.
Exactly.
How long, what effect the UV rays, the sunlight actually has on the composition.
Correct.
And
Exactly.
this is happening here in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Amazing, mate.
Yeah, so here it's just another continuation we did before on the 3D printers, one of our latest 3D printers. This allows us, it's basically half the time that we had before printing something like a ADD or motor helmet. So
Okay.
it's a lot faster, technology is evolving, and
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I see you got something in there. Can I stick my camera in there? Or is it super secret?
No, it's fine. It's just a little bracket we're printing, and you can see it's actually moving there.
That's the 3D printer is amazing. It's amazing how technology has moved on just to make things like this so fantastic. Peter, all I can say is I'm blown away. I'm sure our viewers are going to be blown away. I don't think Paul, come stand here, sir. So everybody knows Paul Medell. He's the local LEATT man. I can't actually. I know your guys' product is good. I really do. Your guys' product is fantastic. The fact that all this, I'm just going to go here behind you guys, go a bit of a wide shot there. All this was designed by you guys and actually tested here, and it's better than world standard. Come on, you guys got to be proud of yourselves for that.
Yeah, we're proud of our products, and I mean it's what LEATT prides itself on is to be on the top end of not only quality but safety. That's important for us. So we'll continue doing this.
No, that's awesome. Gents, thank you very much for your time and for inviting us in here for this exclusive look around your lab and your production facility and your testing facility. This is where all the R&D happens. This is where all the magic happens. Guys, you want to know who's behind LEATT and behind the magic of LEATT? These are the guys who talk for the most part. Thank you again, gents.
Oh, thanks, all.
So first of all, Paul, I just want to say thanks, mate. Thanks for inviting me. This has been such an eye-opener.
Yeah.
But you're just saying that, just off camera now, you're saying to me that everybody's asking you about when are you going to do this, when are you going to do that, when is this coming to market, why is that?
Yeah, so when you're going to add products and how come you're on making this, there's quite a process. We've got lots of ideas, lots of products, lots of stuff we'd like to do. It takes time, and everything before it goes to market has to come through the lab. The lab's got to approve it. And
So it has to meet your in-house standards.
absolutely. And those standards, sometimes there aren't standards, and we have to create our own standard for a new product.
That's interesting.
Like we had with the neck brace.
Yeah.
There wasn't a CE standard, so we had to, together with the powers that create that standard.
All right. Okay.
And it's the same thing with anything else. And then we look at the standard and we're going, is that standard good enough? Maybe we need to raise that standard. and was wonderful for helmets to go to 2206 because we believe there was room for improvement.
Right.
And it's with any other product. We won't just bring out a product for the sake of adding another part number. So the lab is the foundation of all the products. It's tested, it's refined, and we continue to test the products throughout the life cycle of that product to make sure that they are being built to the correct standard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a process, and we're getting there, and we'll continue to innovate.
So now here's the interesting that I picked up on there. I don't know if everybody else picked it up. In a lot of, well, not in a lot of cases, in some cases, on safety equipment that we need to protect ourselves riding our motorbikes, our bicycles, and whatever, there's never actually been a set standard, and you guys are creating that standard in instances like you say, the neck brace and so on and so forth. It's amazing. And then I just want to chat to you about something else that we were talking about earlier when we were having a cup of coffee. You are one of very few brands that actually do a helmet replacement program. Please go through the steps of that with us.
Sure. So we find, especially in off-road racing, people riding with helmets that they've crashed with, and they've thought maybe this helmet's still okay, or I've only had it for a couple of months, I'll replace it next year. So it started with our motocross helmets, and the bicycle helmets, that we offer a crash replacement program.
Okay, so hang on. Crash replacement program. As
Correct.
I can't bring you my old scrappy helmet that's been lying in my garage for 30 years.
No.
Okay.
So it's a helmet that you've purchased within a 3-year period.
All right.
So you got to produce your invoice for when you purchase that helmet.
Right.
And you got to send us photographs of it. We didn't want people to jump through too many hoops and send an email to someone in Europe that gets lost between here and another
wherever.
part of the world.
Yeah.
So each region handles it independently. And if you've crashed in a LEATT helmet, be it a bicycle helmet, be it a motocross helmet, or now also our adventure model helmets, within that 3-year from date of purchase, we deem it to be an accident, not where you've attacked it,
where you've daunted it with a
hammer or an angle grinder.
Yeah.
We will supply a helmet to you at the retail price less 40%.
So less 40% on some of your helmets is a big chunk of change.
It is a big. If you've had a helmet for a month and you've had a over the bars crash at an event, and you think, oh, hang on, geez, this helmet still smells brand new, but it's actually now.
Or your credit card is still lying in the corner crying.
Absolutely damaged.
Yeah.
We will offer you that replacement
that's fantastic.
through a dealership.
Yes.
So you can go to the dealer you purchase from.
Okay.
We supply them. They give you the.
Okay, so not necessarily
discount.
only the dealership, but any LEATT dealership, LEATT authorized dealer.
Any LEATT authorized dealer.
Okay, so if you happen to be from, you race at Zone 7, but you've gone up for the North versus South Challenge and you crash in Bloemfontein, you can go to your local dealer, take your crash helmet there. Who is your local dealer in Bloemfontein?
This Sally's.
Sally's, okay.
They're one of the bigger ones.
Okay, cool.
So they should
All right,
be able
so
to
yeah,
help you.
all right. So, but you're telling us about Garden Route Motorcycles as well. Very nice big dealership there.
Yeah, Paul's come on board with a great selection of LEATT products, especially on the venture side, on the off-road product side, and he's really put in a great stock holding, and he's getting a great sell-through, and their service levels are impeccable, and we enjoy working with dealerships like that.
That's awesome. So I just want to go back on one thing there. You said crash in a LEATT helmet. If you crash in a LEATT helmet. So I can't go along to my local forecourt petrol station convenience shop and go buy a Spider-Man helmet and make it like I've crashed and bring it to you and try to get 40% off my next LEATT helmet.
No, it's got to be a LEATT helmet.
Got to be a LEATT helmet.
One of our LEATT helmets, and you've got to have purchased it within a 3-year period.
All right, fantastic.
So we've already had guys that have been like 2 years and 11 and a half months. Yeah. You don't have to jump through big hoops. You send us photographs, we approve it within 24 hours. You then have to cut the strap of the helmet to prove that you can't use it again.
Fantastic. Or sell it.
People selling second-hand damaged helmets. And the reason we're doing this, we want people to ride in helmets that are safe, not compromised.
And that's your biggest thing. Your guys are always about the safety. You've always been about the safety.
Absolutely. We can keep riders safer for longer.
Yeah.
They'll stay in the sport for longer.
So, Paul, once again, we're back in your office now after a bit of a walk around the lab there. Again, mind-blowing. But, sir, I think, can I twist your rubber arm? And can we get some LEATT swag away? What have you got, and how are we going to do this?
Well, I suppose we can ask a tech question maybe on the helmets.
Okay.
And for that, we can arrange some LEATT swag.
All right.
We've got some really cool LEATT hoodies.
With winter on the way, I think that is fantastic. So how many are you going to give away? 200, 300, 400 hoodies? 1,000 hoodies?
So we've got three. First,
So
second,
three.
and third.
Right. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to obviously give the sizes once we know who's won it.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. We can do that.
And the question I would reckon is, what's the new LEATT Adventure 8.5 and 9.5 model? What's the ECE rating on them?
What is the ECE rating on the latest 8.5 Adventure lid? That's going to be it.
The 8.5 and the 9.5.
8.5 and the 9.5 Adventure lid. Give us that answer. Drop it into the comments below and on our social medias. Paul, thank you very much, and thanks again for the walk around. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, Sean.